What's up, everybody? Disco Demonic Hydrophonic. So I got a really cool story, something that happened to me. Um, I was watching a video on the shadow, uh, talking about Carl Jung. I think anything that I have seen concerning the shadow, it references Jung. And um, and then all of a sudden, when I was watching the video, I had this vision real quick of the words El Ahim, E-L, one word, A-H-I-M, the second word. The letters were black, and the back was like a yellow manila folder looking kind of color. And then I was like, that's pretty fucking interesting. So I thought I'd look it up. And when I looked it up, I found this phrase. I may be saying it wrong. Edom Elahim Sabert Zur Adam. It has a specific meaning, but I don't really think I understand it well enough to be able to include the meaning. I don't want to fuck nothing up, so I'm just gonna say it referred me to the Kabbalion. It's part of the Kabbalion, and then so I thought I'd put together something about that. So this is kind of just like, I didn't decide at that moment. It's just things have been kind of happening. I was like, well, fuck, I'm gonna do this video. So one of the things that is very interesting is that, like, these are all principles that I knew already, but this in the Kabbalion, these are the 7 Hermetic Principles. They're kind of laid out in a way that's really, I thought was cool. And what I did was, like, instead of remembering a certain phrase, okay, so the first one is mentalism, and the phrase is, I am the cause of my own reality, which is you cause your own reality. What I think about is directly related to what manifests in my life. So if I think I got money, all it's, like, you're always constantly thinking about money, not in a worrisome kind of way, but like thinking about manifesting money, you're gonna manifest more of that. Like, whatever you think about is whatever you're bringing into your universe from the outside universe, because you are a part of the universe. So the universe is mental. Since the universe is mental, and you use your mind, hence mentalism, you're connecting to the universe and realizing that you are a part of the universe, so you can access the universe to get whatever it is you desire, right? So going back to I am the cause of my own reality, the gematria I got for that is 306. I used a sigil generator, and in the sigil generator it has different options. It's got like kujikiri, it's got some other shit. It's like the witch's circle. It's got the some Jewish. I don't know how to write in in Hebrew. I'm sorry if I'm using incorrect terminologies here, but I don't know how to do all that. So I didn't know I couldn't use those. It has like the I Ching in there, but it's different ways that you can put a phrase in there in a way to come out. So it has a sigil, a numerology, and then it has different other shit you can do. So it's really fucking interesting. I'll add it in the link in the description below. I add a link to. So that's the first one. The first one is mentalism. I am the cause of my own reality. It's like what I think about directly relates to what manifests in my life. Like, I manifest what I think. So 2, correspondence. The gematria of that is, okay, so the phrase that I use for the gematria is as within, so without, as above, so below, and the number for that is 409. And to me, this was easier because I could just write 306 somewhere and I could see it, and I know, okay, that means that I'm the cause of my own reality. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like that. And I for some reason remember numbers better, so that's just the way for me. So that's why I added it. Okay, so now back to correspondence. As within, so without, as above, so below. And this kind of, if you don't know what that kind of means, it sounds pretty basic, but it's actually more complex. So it's like whatever's happening in a smaller way happens in a larger way as well. The universe works; it corresponds to itself. So, like, if you see lightning, it looks a lot like veins. You know what I'm saying? Or nerve endings, or if you like the way the water flows in a river, like blood flows through your veins also. You know what I'm saying? Or like there's a lot of ways that the universe corresponds, or everything works a certain kind of way. Whenever you have like an atom, you have protons and like neutrons that revolve around it, almost like in orbit and around the Earth. the moons are around planets. Moons go around in orbit, asteroids, satellites, and shit like that. They orbit the planets, and then the planets orbit a star. The stars orbit in a galaxy, in a black hole. You know what I'm saying? Like they all work basically the same kind of way. So, so now this goes back to mentalism and the way we see the world or attitude towards the world. Since things correspond, our mentality about something will affect how often it manifests in our life. So when I engage in ritual, I use a ritual example here. So when I engage in ritual, the way I see spirits is that I see the spirits is they are within me, and not see like physically see. I mean see as in rationalize or think about the spirits. So the way I see spirits is they are within me and without me at the same time. When I say without me, I mean outside of me. That's what I mean by when I say that. So like whenever they're in, like when I'm in my ritual chamber, which is like right here. So I can feel the energy, and I know they're here, and I can see like they're inside of me and outside of me as well. So it's kind of like when you look at something, it's outside of you, and then your vision, it's in your mind at the same. That's how you see it. So it's inside of you and outside of you, and then there's other ways to experience that inside and outside of you. I think everybody's seen the picture of the lines that come in like that, hit the eye, then turn around, and the brain processes it upside down and shit. If you haven't, I'm sorry, but all right. So that's correspondence. Number 3 is vibration, and the phrase that I use for the gematria is nothing rests, everything is in motion, and everything is vibrating. And I got 720 for that. And so this is why, so everything is vibration. This is why music can change how you feel. Because there's certain vibrations in music that, like, if you're feeling bad, you hear a song you really, really like, vibrations change that, like change how you are, like how you can make you happy again, or they can make you sad, or so this kind of goes back to mentalism. If you're always thinking about sad, like listening to sad music, it's gonna make you like always envision sad things in your life, and then that's gonna manifest sad shit into your life. So this is why music can change how you feel. Okay, so the Schumann resonance is another vibration. So it's 7.383 hertz. I saw on another site it was 7.86 hertz, but I've seen 7.83 more consistently, which is the heartbeat of the earth. So 7.83 hertz, which is the Schumann resonance, which, if you don't know, it's the vibration of like the electromagnetic vibration of the planet. So like if we're cut off from that, there was like some experiment done, some university where like they had people like in these bunkers, and if they didn't have the Schumann resonance, and they started getting really sick, and they like their sleep patterns were all fucked up, and as soon as they introduced the vibration into the structure, then they all started feeling better. So you can go into the science of all this more if you'd like. That is way beyond the scope of this short video. So 432 is said to be the frequency of the universe, 432 hertz. That, what I read somewhere, is 7.83. It's supposed to correspond. However, 432 is related to 7.83 rounded up to 8. Yeah, again, there's a lot of there's a lot of shit right there. So I really, to explain all that, I just did some searching, man. Okay, so the feeling you put into what you actually say. Okay, so with this in mind, the feeling that you put into what you say actually changes the vibration behind the words that you speak. All right, so I think we can all catch the vibe of what somebody's saying, like the hippies used to say. Like, are you vibing with what I'm saying? Because like when the vibration is like what you're getting. So if I'm talking to you a certain kind of way, and I'm like, oh fuck you, I'm playing. But if I say it with like anger and me, you can hear that vibration. So it changes the power of what I'm saying. So it's important. So like whenever I'll use the example of ritual again. So that's why when you're in ritual, when you say things, you say it with feeling, because if you say it with feeling, it puts more power into the words that you're using. So if you're saying an incantation, like Renish Tasa Uberaka Biasa Ikar Lucifer, you're just kind of like Renish Tasa Uberaka Biasa Ikar Lucifer. That can work. But if you say with more feeling, it's like Renish Tasa Uberaka, you know, like more, then it gives it more power. So that's something to consider. Number 4 is polarity. The gematria is 291. The phrase for the gematria is everything has an opposite. I use that because the other one was really long and the number was crazy. So everything is dual, everything has 2 poles, and everything has its opposite. So if this is true, no matter how good or how bad someone or something is, there's always an opposite of it, right? So, but with that being said, that we are all one and the same. We all have potential to be super evil or super good. We can be demons or angels, but we are still the same God. Now, this kind of goes back to like my belief is that we are gods. We are not as powerful as all the older, super ancient entities that like they're fucking awesome, right? We're like little baby gods. We're like hatchlings, you know. So we are gods. We have this potential, but we're not there yet. You know, we have a long ways to go. And we're on this planet to learn whatever it is we need to learn. And so, but this also says that like anybody who is, I was watching a YouTuber and she mentioned this. I thought that was pretty clever. So she talks about how people who are, it seems that people who are LHP understand this more than, let's say, people who are RHP. So, right, white lighters are just like, all they want to do is just love and good and that's it. And everything is just help, you know, all this beautiful bullshit or whatever, in my opinion. So, I'm sorry, white lighters or whatever. So, whenever you're putting all that out there, if you follow the seven Hermetic Principles, which I'm sure a lot of them do, I don't really know any of them, so I don't fucking know. Anyways, so the law of polarity actually says that no matter what good it is you do, once you do that good thing, you're instantly creating, because of the law of polarity, it's equal and opposite somewhere else. So if you do magic to save somebody's life, somewhere else, something is happening to kill somebody else. So no matter what, you cannot be, you know, like if you follow this law, it's impossible to just do good all the time. Which I can see that because we all interpret things differently, man. Just because you think something is good doesn't mean I think it's good. Like you can do some spell for me, like you think that I would be happy as shit, but it could really, I could really piss me off. You know, like I don't want this shit. Like I don't want, like let's say a relationship with my family. Like I don't want that. And if somebody just thinks that everybody should have a relationship with their family and they do this spell, my family becomes more part of my life, and then now I'm just like, well, shit. Like this fucking sucks. You know what I'm saying? So, fuck them. Yeah. So if you want to hex me, that's how you could fucking do it. Make me have a relationship with my family. That would fucking piss me the fuck off. Anyway, so this goes to, this is a quote from the Kabbalion. All truths are only half truths, and every truth is half false. There are 2 sides to everything. Opposites are identical in nature, yet different in degree. Extremes meet, and all paradoxes may be reconciled. All right, so something to think about. Number 5 is rhythm. 525 is the gematria. The phrase for that is there is a rhythm between every pair of opposites. So, being that there's opposites, there's like rhythms. Like so, even with vibrations, like vibrations has opposites. So like the wavelength is up here. That's the positive or yang. Down here is the negative or yin, and it goes up and down and it vibrates, right? Well, the rhythm changes how it vibrates or whatever, right? So you have circadian rhythms. Circadian rhythms are physical, mental behavioral changes that follow the daily cycle. So every day you fall into a rhythm, you know, and if you change that rhythm, it kind of fucks up your head a little bit. You know, if you're used to waking up at a certain time every day, and then you get this new job, and then you got to wake up earlier, you're going to be tired for a while until your rhythm lines up with whatever the job is, right? So, and this could be any kind of fucking job. So, all right, so number 6 is cause and effect. 535 is the gematria. The phrase for the gematria is there is a cause for every effect and an effect for every cause. So nothing is random. Everything happens for a reason. The same energy that you put into that you put out, is the same amount of energy that will come back to you. So whatever you put, however amount of energy you put into something is what you're going to get back. So that's the fruits of your labor. So whatever you labor in, if you want to become a badass black magician and you only read like a chapter or like a paragraph, let's say you read a paragraph a day, you're not going to become a badass black magician. That circumstances happen. Sometimes you can only read a paragraph. It's understandable, but there's a lot of studying you're going to have to do, and that's not going to cut it. You're not going to become a fucking badass black magician doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you have to really commit yourself. And so that's all that. You have to ritual. You have to do all kinds of mental exercises, meditations, and like if all you're doing is just reading a paragraph or a couple paragraphs a day, it's not gonna happen, bro. Yeah. So everything that you do now has an effect on you later. So that kind of goes back to that. So if everything I do now is like I'm growing from that, so whatever happens later is a result of what I did few days ago. So like where I'm at now is a result of what I've been doing for the past few years, right? So you have to start somewhere and have to keep on going. So and where I'm at a few years from now is going to be a result of what I'm doing now, right? So just be mindful that the energy you put into that is what's going to determine what you become. So if my work is always like I'm always working on my ascension, that could change in different degrees, like depending upon what I consider my ascension. But I'm always working on ascension no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things I'm always focusing on. Sometimes different aspects of that come in, and I go where the spirits lead me to. So whatever, and I always say that ascension is continuous. It's like always happening. There is no like, I ascended for a while and then now I'm cool. And then after that, I just stop, and then like I'm not gonna hold that same amount of ascension. Like if I meditate every day for fucking 10 years, and then all of a sudden I hit this point where I'm really happy with everything that I've accomplished, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, and then I just stop doing everything I did, it's going to stop. I'm not gonna have that same mental clarity that I did anymore. So it is wise to be consistent in anything you want to achieve or manifest. The more important the cause to you usually means the greater effect. So all that says so. Number 7 is gender, and the 716 is the gematria for gender is in everything. So everything has a feminine and masculine principle. The sun, the moon, the yin, the yang. Romance languages have masculine and feminine aspects. Language has basically plants, animals, boats, cars, everything, and with that being said, all degrees in between. So let me make sure I didn't say this already. Hopefully I didn't, but if I did, no, it's only 18 minutes. So, all right. So I had this professor. Yeah. Okay. This is like I made a couple videos already. So, anyways, I had a professor that when I was in college, a math professor. He was telling me about. He was telling us about the way numbers work. And he basically explained it like this. He's like, whenever you go from like, let's say you start at 1, and then you keep counting, and you just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like you just keep on going, and going. Like how long could you go on for? And basically, it's like forever. You could go on and add numbers constantly to like whatever. It's eternal. It's always going. And so then he told us, if you have the numbers 1 and the numbers 2, in between that, how many numbers do you have in there? And so that was kind of a like, I don't know how many. So it's also an infinite amount of numbers. So in between every number, there's an infinity, and numbers go for an infinite amount of time. So you could count forever, basically, or like until you die. I mean, really, you could numbers represent, they go on forever. So the way you can go from like between 1 and 2, why there's an infinite amount of numbers is like say you have 1, and then you have 1.1, 1.01, 1.001, 1.0001, 1.00001. You know what I'm saying? So and you could just keep on adding numbers, so that goes on forever. And then 1.0000001, 2, and so there's like infinite amount of numbers inside of in between 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, and then whatever. So like all those numbers. So I thought that was a pretty cool way of him explaining that to us. So this is where you can see. Also, I mentioned here the yin yang binary. I think I mentioned that before, but everything is basically you have yin and you have yang, and then everything in between is like a infinite amount of combinations of each creates all kinds of shit, masculine and feminine energies. So that's why I use the yin yang binary, because yin is feminine, yang is masculine. So yeah, that's the 7 Hermetic Principles, man. Hopefully that made sense. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, share it with your friends. If you hate this video, share it with your enemies. 20 minutes, 29 seconds. All right.